Morning, Bomb Squad. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday today. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys like that fancy intro that we prepared for you guys. Let's get into the questions. All right, first question we got is, why bomb? I know it's a basic sounding question, but why bomb? How you came up with that name? So I did answer this in another AMA, but it's kind of a funny answer. So, when I was forking Tomb, I was trying to keep as many things as similar as possible. So I thought, what kind of name sounds similar to Tomb? So change one letter to bomb, change the T to a B, and that's how bomb came about. And obviously the name's worked out quite well. It's a really strong name, so pretty happy with it. Next question is, please talk today about how you decided to dox yourself, how bomb community and bomb money perception changed after you revealed your identity. So this is the first project I really launched that took off. So I didn't really, have a history of, having to make that decision really in the past of, do I dox, do I not dox? And, I kind of just didn't really have any intention of being anonymous when I launched the project. And, especially once I at first, I guess I didn't really make that conscious decision at any point. I just didn't really see any reason not to dox. And then I saw the positive, all the positives that were coming of me, just being transparent about who I was and what we were up to and everything else related to bomb. So I just kept running with it and, fully dox myself, and, people know where I am and, my LinkedIn and everything else about me. So, and it just seemed to really help the project and, give that transparency that everyone's looking for, especially on BSC where there's so many things going on that are not on the up and up. So just kept running with it basically, and really happy with the decision. Okay. Next question is, please address Harry's announcement regarding his Warpath rant for Tomb Forks and explain how this will or won't affect bomb. Do we have any licensing issues regarding the MIT license and him revoking access to it? Have you been in touch with Harry? Is bomb in any danger? All right. So firstly, he made some threats that he can't really follow up on. Open source code is open source so that others can use it and they can contribute back to that project, or they can fork it and, make their own project out of it. And, different licenses have different restrictions on what you can and can't do. But the MIT license, I'm not an expert in this field, but it's a fairly open license from what I recall. So him revoking access, I don't believe that's part of what you're allowed to do with that license. Pretty confident in that. So I think a lot of his threats were, he made them just without knowing if he was actually had any legal course to follow through with them or not. So in that regard, I'm not worried at all. Don't know what else there is to address in terms of that. Is bomb in any danger? No, bomb would not be in any danger regarding that. I think that's a non-issue. Oh, has Harry? So he has not reached out to us. I mean, I think as far as I know, he only reached out to the one fork on Phantom. So yeah, no, he hasn't reached out to us at all. I mean, to be honest, like just reading between the lines, I don't think he was really targeting us at all based on what he said and, and his actions after his statement. So I don't think he's concerned. I mean, for one, we're fully doxxed. We're the opposite of what he said he was going after. He's going after rugs and scams and, we're obviously neither of those two things. And plus we're not on Phantom, and he seems to be more concerned about Phantom projects. So yeah, so I highly doubt he'll reach out to us. Love the bomb office. Thank you very much. Thanks, Stu. Plans to help Peg at this stage and attract new investors is our latest question. So in terms of helping Peg, we're going to do a lot of what we've been doing in the past, combined with a lot of new things that we have coming up in the very near future. Mainly we just we're going to keep building value for the project. We have our marketing team's trying a lot of really interesting new things that are just coming out this week, and some of them take some time to build up, and a lot of them are experimental, and we don't know how effective they're going to be. But when you do enough different experimental things, some of them are going to work, and some of them are going to work really well, and we'll put more effort into those ones that are working better. And we have some exciting partnerships that we've already secured, and that we're we continuously seeking out partnerships. And I got a couple few tricks up my sleeve in terms of Peg, but those are I'll leave those for another time. It's a little bit too early to discuss those. Bomb shelter. Next question is, Bomb currently is only around 80% of the pegged value. What will you do to make sure this project won't fail like other algorithmic tokens? Well, I mean, we were the first tomb fork, and I think that we have a lot of unique aspects to our project, and especially our roadmap. I think that we are quite different than your standard tomb fork, and we've dropped Peg pretty hard in the past, and we've been able to come back no problem. And I don't think this time is going to be any different. And even if it drops, I don't anticipate it dropping too much further. But even if it does, it's buying at a discount. And looking at even my own personal trade history, in the past when I've used my own funds, or even when the protocol's used its funds to buy Bomb at a low peg, those have been some of the most profitable trades that I've ever made. Right. Buying it when last time when it dropped to the mid 60s, and buying big chunks of Bomb there, they just it was almost an instant massive return on those, 50+% return. So yeah, so I mean, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing, and some of the catalysts we have coming up, combined with a lot of our marketing efforts, and I'm very confident we'll be back over Peg in no time. The Bomb sweater. All right, got some Bomb gear on. This is one of the hoodies that we have in our merch shop. Actually, I could show you guys that real quick. We're going to be actually adding a lot more items to the shop very soon, and we're going to be adjusting the prices too. I know some of the prices were a little bit high. It's because we actually lost money on the first couple orders. I think there's something up with the margins, so might have overcompensated for that. So we'll be adjusting prices down, and we'll be running different promos too. We'll have coupon codes that will follow our Twitter, and you'll be able to get those just to get discounts. Yeah, I think the one I'm wearing right now is this guy right here. Great hoodie. I've also received a Champion hoodie. This guy. This one was nice too. This one's thicker, but I kind of like the way that this one fits a little bit more. But this was a really nice one too. And yeah, like I said, we're going to be adding a bunch more items. Right now we just have clothing and accessories. We got to fix the categories a little bit because a phone case is not clothing. But yeah, probably in the next day or two, we'll have probably at least like triple the amount of items, and we'll have them all categorized so you can find what you're looking for a lot easier. And we'll fix the pricing so things are more fair priced. Got a comment from YouTube. Can I go over xBomb a little and explain that? Sure. So xBomb, so the way that, like, I'm not sure which aspects of xBomb you want me to explain, like how it works or how it's beneficial to the platform. Could go over all of that. If you have any more specifics, let me know that if you want that addressed specifically. But essentially the way that this works is it keeps a ratio between bomb and xBomb. xBomb is its own token, like an ERC20 or BEP20 on BSC. So the way that this works is when we first launched xBomb, the ratio of xBomb to bomb was a 1-to-1 ratio. So you put in 1,000 bomb, you get 1,000 xBomb back. And it's a yield bearing token. So like as bomb rewards flow into this smart contract, it increases the ratio. Actually, let me rewind a little bit. So whenever a user enters into xBomb, they're putting bomb into the smart contract, but it's minting xBomb and sending that back to the user at whatever the current ratio is, which is 1.1214 right now. So right now you'd get back like 89 or 88% of the amount of xBomb for however many bomb you deposit. But so what increases the ratio is when bomb enters the contract, but without a user putting bomb in. So like, for example, our auto compounder, it collects fees and it buys bomb in the open market and it sends those bomb to the xBomb contract. So because those bomb were sent to the contract without it minting xBomb, it increases the ratio. So it doesn't really matter what the source of bomb is, as long as bomb enters that contract, that ratio is going to go up. So yeah, that's basically how that works. So if you don't notice, you should notice the amount of bomb, the value goes up as that ratio increases, but you'll notice that when you withdraw your bomb, you're going to get additional bomb back from, what you deposited. All right, another question. How are we 20% off peg considering 40% bomb is locked up in xBomb plus no new bomb in circulation for 2 weeks? We should be pegging. Is the community dwindling? Well, I think it's, I don't know why people choose to sell. That's something that I can't really answer because, I haven't been selling anything. So, but we're just, put simply, we're down on peg because I think we've had a bigger position or two that's maybe decided to, become an APR chaser and go to, some places that have a higher APR for the moment. But, that's fine. We have lots of things coming up that are going to boost peg to 1.0 and beyond. So I'm not really sure how to answer that question besides there's, in the recent future, there's been more sellers than buyers. Well, actually, that's not true. There's been a lot of buyers. There's, I think let's take a look. We're getting more buys and sells, but it's just the size of the sells is what's dropping peg. I think there's some guys that have probably been in from, early on and when we had higher APRs and, and we'll get the APRs higher again once B share boosts in price a little bit, but they're probably seeing higher APRs elsewhere and they just decided that they want to go get those APRs for now. But that's fine. We can't tell anybody what to do, and it's just presented a buying opportunity for anybody to get in now and farm that bomb BTCB and get some xBomb, and we'll be looking great in no time. All right. Next question is, answer in simple terms how bomb is actually pegged to Bitcoin. If bomb is linked to Bitcoin and Bitcoin has gone up 19%, why is that? Why is that we are not even at peg? Can you please explain that? Okay, so I'm going to answer that question and something related to that, because something that I've discussed a couple of times in the past, but it's something that there's still some confusion in the community around this. So people often say, actually, there's even like an article that I was reading about really long article about Tomb and calling it a vamp coin and all kinds of stuff like that. But I mean, this is like it was an article where they didn't understand quite how Tomb was pegged to Phantom, and how when Phantom moves, Tomb moves. It's the same thing with Bomb and BTC. So it seems like even people that are talking about this in the industry don't even fully understand this concept. So let me get into this. So our primary LP, Bomb BTCB, is Bomb paired with Bitcoin. So the way a liquidity pair works is that both assets need to be worth the same. Well, like both sides of the liquidity pool have the same value. So basically, if as long as there's no trades on Bomb and BTC in this pool, if the value of BTC goes up, the value of Bomb goes up as well. Bomb is not in any other pools for there to be any kind of arbitrage going on there. So it's not like Bomb doesn't need to like catch up with BTC when BTC goes up in value. It automatically goes up with it. The only thing that has dropped peg is that there's been sells on Bomb. So Bomb has still been following BTC. So Bomb would be lower if BTC hadn't been going up recently, right? So this is taken into consideration the price of BTC, but we're at 78% of peg. So this is 78% of what it would be at if we're at 1.0 peg. But at 1.0 peg, we would be neck and neck with BTC, if that makes sense. Let me just reread that question, make sure I got it all. How Bomb is actually pegged to BTC. So I mean, Bomb is pegged to BTC because that's just how we've written our smart contracts. Bomb follows BTC. It checks that pool to see what the ratio is between Bomb and BTC. Like if you pull it up on like PancakeSwap and you look at their info there, it'll show you like all the details of the LP, and you can see the exact ratio of Bomb to BTC. And like when we're at 1.0 peg, you'll see that it's exactly like 1 BTC equals 10,000 Bomb. Right. So that's how it's pegged. I mean, that's how we track the price against BTC, but we're pegged to BTC just because that's what we built into our smart contracts and price oracles, etc. Got a comment. Strongly believe in the project. Keep up the good work. Thanks for those positive notes, and definitely will. Yep. Loving my xBombs as well. Please shine a light on the kind of market ideas the team has going for it. We are, like I said earlier, we have a lot of things on the go. That's, I let the marketing team focus on that for the most part. So I'm not, 100% well-versed on everything that they're doing, but I know that we're doing, a lot of things on Twitter. We're doing a lot of experimental things. We're doing a lot of things to drive traffic. We have a big ad spend starting soon. We have an even bigger budget for ad spend, after that. And, we're just going to keep trying all kinds of different things until, we find what's really working well. And then we're going to do that on a larger scale. So the next question is, any plans to get on Beefy? The volume there typically brings a big spike to projects. So we actually were planning, we've been, actively seeking partnerships, pretty much since we launched. So let's get on Beefy. So yeah, we're definitely planning on getting on Beefy. We actually were supposed to be on Beefy on Monday, and that's something that we were going to announce in the bombshell Monday, but there was a small issue last second. So because it was kind of like a last minute opportunity that came up. They, had a spot for us, and things last second didn't work out, but we'll be able to get on Beefy, and it's going to bring a ton of exposure. And I wasn't involved in all of the conversations, but I believe we were going in like a launch pad program of some sort, and they were going to promote us, and they can still do all of that, but just we have to hold off a little bit on that, and we'll be able to do that soon. But yeah, that's definitely in the works. And unfortunately, we didn't have that ready for Monday. We wanted to surprise everybody with that. So, but we'll have that coming in the future. What are the monthly expenses of the project? Team salaries, equipment, services, marketing, development, et cetera, et cetera. So, if I don't handle that directly, I have other people that handle a lot of those things. So I don't have all of those numbers available on the top of my head. To give you a rough idea for this month, probably 30, 40,000 maybe for those things combined. Maybe a little higher. And then we'll probably be spending even more money next month. We're going to be, this month after we figure out which aspects of marketing are working best, we'll pour a lot of funds into, doing those on larger scale. How will the BTC single staking benefit the bomb protocol? So the main way it's going to be beneficial is it's going to just be additional. Well, it's going to be beneficial to the protocol because we're going to have a big inflow of funds, which is going to create big demand for bomb, and it's going to make our pool, our main pool, more stable, and that way when people decide that they want to exit for whatever reason, that's not going to impact the peg nearly as much, and it's going to allow bigger investors to get in without impacting price as much as well, because someone doesn't want to get in if they're going to be jumping the price of bomb by 10% just with their one purchase. So the bigger that our pools are, the more stable that we'll be. And once and as well, once we implement that, we'll be buying bomb on their behalf on the open market until we're at around 1.05 peg. And then we'll start doing private placements and over the counter trades to get them bomb, so that they can get bomb close to peg. And that's so it's gonna it's, in a sense, it's almost gonna set a floor for peg, depending on how much interest we get in that. So because if we're buying on the open market up to 1.05 peg, it's basically going to keep us at 1.05 peg as long as we have continued interest in our BTC single stake. And as well, the protocol is going to be the first wallet that's going to be offering its bomb to BTC single stakes positions. So, the protocol taking in that BTC for its bomb, now it has, this big stash of BTC that it could use to, cover BTC single stake withdrawals, to help peg if it's in need. It just really strengthens the protocol. Okay, next question is, can you list 1 to 3 killer features of your product that makes it ahead of its competitors? So I could list a whole bunch. Let's try and keep it to 3. Well, one, I think our peg choice was excellent for many reasons. I'm not sure if that's a feature or just something about our project, but our peg choice and just our roadmap is excellent, and we really plan to execute on it and every item on it and more items. We have a lot of different great community suggestions that we've had that with a little bit of polishing, they'll be great ideas to implement. And killer features. I mean, I'm trying to think like what's a feature and what's just something that we've done. I mean, like let's move on to the next question. What is the competitive advantage your platform offers that you feel most confident about? Um, just I think just being pegged to BTC, being as transparent as we are, and having the roadmap that we have, and we've I'm really our community's actually I should have said this earlier. Our community is just incredible. Despite what's happening with other tomb forks, and with higher APRs being available at some other places, it's we've got a great community, and we have a lot of strong believers in the protocol, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that their trust in us and their faith in us is going to be rewarded greatly. So our community is just really second to none, and that's what I feel most confident about. Give me a second. I'm just going to take a break real quick. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Got a comment from Homer Joe. Doxx dev for the win. Biggest advantage, killer feature, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe I don't look at it that way just because I feel like that's just something that every team should do. But yeah, I guess that is true, since it seems that not many devs are just putting themselves right out there and being fully doxxed. So yeah. So I guess I downplay that a little bit just because I feel like it's just natural, but good point. When bomb NFT. Yeah, we can do that very soon. There's been a lot of community interest in that, and we've had some nice things, nice graphics drawn up for us, and definitely something that we can look into in the very near future. What am I drinking? Drinking a Rockstar, and now I just went to grab a water, switching it up a little bit. Bomb juice. It'll be in our shop soon. 1-inch Yield Wolf Beefy. Team has been working a lot behind the scenes. Any other alpha news today? Just a tease before Friday? Yeah, I got some. I was going to do that after the questions. Let's see if there's any other questions, then I'll talk about that. How do you intend to raise awareness of your initiative in countries, regions where English is not widely spoken? That's a good question. We have so on Discord we have different you know uh, channels for different languages, and we have admins that speak the different languages that we have in those channels. So we can handle them once we find them, but to raise awareness, that's a good question. I haven't really put too much thought into that. But yeah, there's definitely huge markets. I think probably a good first step would be to make our web UI more intuitive, and possibly have different language options on the website. That'd be a great start to being able to hit some of those other markets. But great question. I'll actually bring that up with the team and see what we could maybe do about that. Thanks for bringing that up. See, do we have any other questions? All right, next question. What is your main concern regarding the future of bomb money? I'm really confident moving forward. We've had peg drop in the past, and we've always been able to come back. And um, main concern, I'm too bullish. I don't know. I don't have any concerns really. I mean, I hate to see like the community sentiment low. When peg drops, but I'm so confident that we'll have no issue getting that back with some of the catalysts that we have right around the corner. So, the ones that stick with us, morale is gonna be much higher very, very soon. Actually, there is something I did want to clear up. So in the bombshell Monday, let me pull that up. There's something I said in this that I think maybe is being perceived the wrong way. So when I mentioned here, I've decided to reward bomb staking xBomb holders with an additional 10,000 bomb injection per week until BTC single stake is released. So I didn't think about that statement as much as I should have prior to writing it. So this may have given people the impression that we're really far away from releasing BTC single stake, which is really not the case. I just wanted to kind of tie in, the additional giveaway with, because I know a lot of people are waiting for BTC single stake. So, and I know, just to keep people excited about xBomb until we're back over peg, and xBomb is also getting great rewards just as the boardroom is. I just figured that was a nice way to incentivize those xBomb holders in the meantime, and until BTC single stake is released. But I definitely should have worded that differently, because it's not that far away. I don't want to give dates, but it's really not as far away as it might seem from the way that I wrote that. So I do apologize for maybe not wording that correctly and getting people worried. Okay, next question is, if you could instantly either bring us back to peg or triple the value of B shares, which would you choose for the health of the protocol? Well, that's an interesting question. That kind of, in my mind, comes down to like, what's the source of the funds, almost like, instantly bring us back to peg. If that's people that are going to be, farming bomb BTCB, and, that's what gets us back to peg. And that's a, healthy, sustainable, purchase of bomb that's not looking to, just for a quick flip or anything like that, then I would definitely choose that, because, B share will well over triple, when we get back to peg anyways. So one impacts the other. Whereas, just pushing the price of B share up, that's going to make our APRs better, but it's not going to, like instant, I feel like being back at peg, by having more eyes on the protocol, more new investors, is going to just make BeefShare go crazy. So, and the other, yeah, it's kind of true in reverse as well, but just not as quick, I guess. Not as take a little bit longer. All right. Any other questions? When is the new design rolling out for the UI? What we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a lot of improvements to this site, as well as having that new UI that's going to act as like the landing page and kind of your gateway to get to the different, aspects of BOM and the BOM protocol. As well, we're going to try to guide users towards what's best for them. So that's largely the BOM BTCB auto vaults. So when is it rolling out? I don't have a date for you. We're working as fast as we can. All right, so it looks like we're running a little bit dry on questions. So let's talk about the exciting things that we have coming up. So we have actually a series of governance votes that we're going to be proposing over the next little while. The first one is really bullish, and I'm not going to say exactly what that governance vote is. I'm going to be talking about that in depth on the first Twitter space that we're doing on Friday. So I highly recommend everybody, jump on that Twitter space if you want to be the first to hear about it. Really, really great, positive, bullish governance vote coming up on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time on my Twitter. And we'll have links to that you can grab. We can put those in the chat. Anybody have any, or if anybody have any questions about governance voting or any suggestions, we'd love to hear from the community. What types of things you'd like to see us propose, and we're very open to, we want to do what the community wants to do. So if the community strongly feels a certain way, even if it's a minority in the community, we're open to putting up a governance vote and seeing if the rest of the people agree, and we're happy to adjust the protocol based on what our users want. So that's ultimately the driving force, is doing what the community wants, and working as a team, and having our whole BOM squad and BOM family all working together to make this thing very successful. Yeah, if there's anybody that anybody in particular that you guys want to see me talk to on the Twitter space, make sure you let us know. Or any topics that you want us to discuss on the Twitter space, send that to me, and that's something that we can definitely talk about on our first Twitter space. But with that, I think we're going to wrap up here. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day today, and keep bombing on. And see you guys all on Friday on the Twitter space.